Hello everyone and welcome to Fableheim and the internet. We are here with the final content teaser for Iratus, Wrath of the Necromancer. And what is it about? Of course, nothing else but the enemies that we will destroy. I'm excited. New enemies, bosses, and 6th floor, the symmetry. But we will talk about all of that in a moment. I was going to introduce my companion, but unfortunately, she does not like being in the room when the door is closed. You can see her palace is currently empty. And she was there, and the moment I started talking, she left. Unfortunate. But hey, if you have an Instagram, she's there. So without further ado, and no more self-plugs, let us dive right in, shall we? Hello, Necromancers. Hi. Less than a week left until the release of our first DLC, Iratus, Wrath of the Necromancer, at 6 p.m. CET, or 5 p.m. UTC on October 26th. All new content will become available to its owners, and it is currently 15% off if you're interested in picking it up. Interesting wording here. Our first DLC. Does that mean there will be more? I can hope. Also, if you are interested in picking up the base game, it is currently 40% off in the supporter pack, which gives you the music, additional skins, and the Infested is also on sale, so feel free to pick that up if you would like. They didn't tell me to do that, I just thought I'd let you all know. We revealed 2 new minions in the previous blog post, the Reaper, the Abomination, and also new alchemy mechanics, the Battle Potions. Additionally, there will be an additional 17 skins. I read that incorrectly. Additionally, there will be additional skins for 17 minions, new items and artifacts, and a new game ending with an additional outro video and story content included in this DLC. It's worth noting, in the last post we did, I double checked. They said 15 minions. Now it's 17. Are they including new skins for the 2 new characters, or did they add more? Don't know. And of course, the core of this DLC, new enemies, bosses, and a brand new 6th floor. Let us learn some more about them today. Let us. Now, before we get into this, I must say, there's not a whole lot here. There's gifts. And so a lot of this is going to be assumption-based, and we'll see if my assumptions stand up when the time comes on October 27th, when my series begins the Wrath of the Defiler. But here we go. 2 position enemies. On all of the old 5 floors, we will add 1 large and impressive enemy. Important. An ogre, automaton, ogre for the 1st floor, automaton for the 2nd, fallen knight for the 3rd, worm for the 4th, and cavalryman for the 5th. All 2 position enemies cannot be moved and take up 2 adjacent positions. They all have their own unique roles and must be explored one by one. So, without further ado, zoom. By the power of technology, zoom. So, the 1st floor, the ogre. You can tell this is the 1st floor because of the background, and there's a doomsayer here who's been driven insane. Good. Kill them all. Now, one thing worth noting about the ogre here is it appears that he has no health. None whatsoever. Does he have like an undying feature or something? Because you can't see that he has a feature. He tries to smack the headhunter, but it is redirected to the abomination, which is all fine and dandy. But, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Really? Going on with that. He looks intimidating. But another interesting thing that I caught in this GIF is in the 4th position for Iratus is a Lich. And the Lich looks awesome. That has to be his new skin, the golden red, adorned and regal. A gilded Lich to rain fire upon your foes. So that's the ogre for the 1st floor. Again, not much here that I can really discern. Did the A-bomb even attack back? Because he's supposed to counterattack, right? Suspicious. But moving on to the 2nd floor. I hate the 2nd floor. This is the automaton for the dwarves. Now, the only thing we can really catch here is that at low health, it seems to explode. Whether it's because it like entered a stance. It doesn't look like it's in a stance. Maybe it just explodes under a certain amount of HP. It is worth noting that it does not pierce wards. Everything but the headhunter has blocked the explosion by the ward. Although it does not appear to have done much damage. It is worth noting, I have no idea what difficulty this is on. This could be on Cakewalk, for all I know. In which case, Cakewalk, 14 damage, is kind of a bit. which could be concerning for how much that scales, but we'll see. It is worth noting that on the second floor there is the Oracle, who can make it so that attacks pierce through block and ward, so you may need to find another way to get around exploding automatons. But good. Nothing interesting here with the skins. We see the new Lich, the new Headhunter. We've seen the Headhunter before. And the base skins for the A-Bomb and the Reaper. So let us move on, shall we? We have moved on to the... Is this the 5th floor? This is the 5th floor. We can see the Cavalryman is in the first position. He has 3 block, 3 ward, and a feature. Fortunately, can't mouse over it because it's a GIF. He is charging through, which is unsurprising for a Cavalryman. We see new skins for the Bone Golem, the Unbreakable. And it's beautiful. I love the new Bone Golem skin. Oh, it's gorgeous. I'm going to use it. We also see the new skin for the Fallen Dampier, which appears to be a mimic, if you will, of the Acolyte enemy. It looks good. I like the little hat. I'm not sure if this looks better than the Fallen Dampier's base set, because she looks pretty freaking cool. The whole, Vampire Slayer theme going, but more options is good. The Widow, Black Widow, is that what she called? The Widow is in her little cocoon hiding from the world, so not much to comment on there. This isn't a remarkable amount of damage, but the fact that it hits everyone is kind of annoying. So, we'll see. Everything else looks pretty standard, except for my brief forgetting of what floors were. Now we move on to the bosses. New bosses will appear on the first 4 floors. On the first playthrough, you are guaranteed to meet them, and in the future they will randomly alternate with the old ones. In some ways they are similar to their associates, but there are also completely new mechanics. This is the 2nd floor. The replacement for the engineer appears to be 2 gnomes in mecha suits. Okay. I'm not sure if that's better or worse, honestly. Now, it is worth noting that it says on the first playthrough. I wonder if this will carry over to, for example, my first playthrough of when I pick up the DLC. Will it just start counting once the DLC launches, or will, because I've done a few runs, will it alternate? I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing the new bosses, though, because that adds a ton of replayability to be like, oh, I don't know who we're going to get. It could be fun. It could be... Anything's better than the engineer, let's just be real. Although the zombie cheese is fun. But as far as these are concerned, one's gold, one's silver. They could share health, they could not, who knows. But moving on to something more important, to me anyway. Take a look at the skins. We have the alternate skins for the Reaper and the Abomination. The Reaper looks just like a soldier, basically, on a pale horse. Death comes on a pale horse. But the Abomination, I called it green. It's a little Nurgle. You can see it better down here, I think. This is the 4th floor, so it's in place of the Monster Slayer. Yes. No. 3rd. I am not... My floors are all messed up. This is in place of the Monster Slayer. The 4th floor is now the Pyromancer. Or is the Pyromancer. Now, because it was for early access. Brain, please think. But we can see it looks like a Houndmaster of some kind. I always hate killing Houndmasters, because usually you have to kill their dogs and then kill them. But it looks like they're one singular entity. I wonder if he's going to have, like, a multi-turn feature. It appears that he has, like, a multi-turn feature. Because he throws the bone, he marks the Abomination, little Nurgleth, and then the dog goes after him in the same turn. And he gets a buff. This could be... I think this is going to be a lot harder than the Monster Slayer, honestly. Because the Monster Slayer is pretty straightforward. Even though he can throw you off if you don't know his mechanic, but he's pretty straightforward otherwise. So, yeah. I like him. I just like all the new bosses, really. It is worth noting, again, the 5th floor bosses remains unchanged. It will always be the Grand Magister, but this is just for the first floors, and it will add replayability. Again, you can see over here in the skins, we have the alternative skin for the Abomination, which I'm always going to use. You'll never see the pink skin here. It's always going to be green. Papa Nurgle. I'm going to make Papa Nurgle proud. We have the alternative skin for the Shade. He's headless, just like the Headhunter. And we see the alternative skin for the Blood Phantasm, who has become quite purple. I like purple. It's fine. And that brings us to the 6th floor. After crushing the cathedral, Iratus and his undead army will go up to the new 6th floor of the cemetery. There, we will meet 9 new enemies, including one who takes up 2 positions, the Amazon. She seems to be on a griffin, Pegasus-looking thing. That's definitely a Pegasus, right? She looks spooky. She moves about herself, which is mildly concerning. Is she a ranged character? She kind of looks like she has some magical crossbow or something. We also see the Roman centurion throwing his javelin. That's fair. They did that. We also see the druid, but he's not doing anything. He's just moving. What I'm assuming is the druid anyway. They both, all of them have features, although they mentioned that's done here. All enemies on this floor have a feature which triggers when they die and buffs allies or debuffs minions. So it sounds like, if you can, you're going to want to try and... I'm interested if they can be dispelled. You're going to want to try and kill them all at once, if you can. Otherwise, dispel will be incredibly potent here if it can be dispelled. It might not be possible, but hey, I can dream, right? I have no idea what this is. It kind of looks like a sorcerer. Even though we already fight a sorceress, right? Don't know. If we go back to this GIF real quick, you can see the new skin for the Unfrozen. Good old Viking influence. Although I'm pretty sure Vikings didn't actually have horns on their helmet like this. Pretty sure we made that up. You can see the new skin for the Lost Soul, the Gwendolyn-looking thing. It is pretty. And the new skin for the Banshee, the Nun. Probably won't use it, but more options are always cool. And of course the Fallen Vampire as well, in her stance. Her new buffed stance. And then back down to this one, you see the alternative skin for the Reaper once more, Unfrozen, and the Banshee. I think these are, again, these could be sorcerers of some kind, or warlocks, I don't know. One of them is obviously the elite version, one's the standard version. I bet the blue one's the elite version. Taking a bet there. At the end of the cemetery, you will face the epic boss. After defeating it, you will be able to see the future of Iratus, how his story unfolds. Imagine this is part of a cutscene here. It looks like... What does it look like? When I first saw this, I thought it was like the heroes that had all opposed him. But there were only 4 heroes in the opening cinematic, so I'm not sure if that's still true. I can't say I recognize any of these. There's obviously the cavalrymen. Don't know. Maybe Iratus is trying to bend their souls to his will. Everyone who's ever dared to oppose him. That'd be my guess. I think I'm putting my money on it right now. I'm not putting any money on it. But my guess is that the final epic boss is something like an Archdruid. We saw him appear in the... Well, maybe he's not even the final boss. Maybe they have a new one who's kind of in the way of him. Because again, first DLC, wording. No promises, of course, but the wording is interesting. I would like to see an Archdruid, though. Like the quintessence of death, Iratus, fighting against the quintessence of life. Like the opposite of Iratus. I think that'd be really cool. Of course, we have no idea, and we'll just have to wait and see. Let us remind you that you can pre-order DLC Iratus Wrath of the Necromancer for 50% discount before October 26th. So when it launches, the discount will go away. We recommend you to join our Discord server. There our communication is the fastest and pleasurable to share their thoughts, ideas, and the best lineup with each other. There's the link. And that was that. 69. Nice. Now, worth noting is that last time they mentioned that in this post, the last content teaser, they would have small but good news. That's not here. Unless it's just, incorporated into the thing. Like maybe the new skins, the 2 new skins are the small but good news. They didn't mention it explicitly. So when I saw that, or the lack of that, I went over to the internet and I checked social media. They have a Twitter account and an Instagram account. They probably have Facebook too, but I don't use Facebook. And I didn't see anything. So not sure what the small but good news is. The game's coming out soon. That's small but good news. But other than that, this is pretty much what we expected, honestly. One mild concern I have is that it says worm here. Now, worm, sometimes spelled like this, could mean a small dragon. Tiny dragon. And that's mildly concerning to me. From the well-being of my minions, that is. But it could be awesome to see. The Fallen Knight is what threw me off with the cavalrymen down here. Like my brain was just thinking, which is this? This is obviously the cavalrymen. And, yeah, so we know the 1st, 2nd, and 5th floor 2-position minions. Good guess on whatever the Fallen Knight and the Worm is. Don't know. Maybe you have a theory on what that is. Again, I think the 4th floor is the Worm. No idea what the Fallen Knight could be. But hopefully these encounters, like, the maps will change a little bit, like the map generation. Hopefully these encounters with these huge, terrifying minions have some incentive to go to them. Like, maybe it'll drop something special. Don't know. But I like to see that. I'd also like to see the bosses have, like, special loot. I don't think they will, but it would be cool. Yeah, that was it. This was the last content drop for content teaser for the upcoming DLC, which will begin on the channel on the 27th. The DLC itself will launch on the 26th. Feel free to pick it up now if you would like. And I hope that you're excited. And I hope that you're looking forward to my journey through it, because I certainly am. We will begin on Eternal Harvest 1. Probably. We did clear Eternal Harvest 1, and I was debating going higher, but I'm probably just going to do 1 again, because we know what to expect floors 1 through 5, right? But the 6th floor will be a complete and utter mystery. So my gut is just telling me stick with Eternal Harvest 1, just go into it bold and mad like you always do, and we will go from there. So thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you look forward to the series, to the release, and to everything coming here at Fableheim. Bye-bye!